What is going on, fight fans? Today in this video, the president of the UFC, Dana White, said that Francis Ngannou was afraid of fighting Jon Jones. Now, the new UFC heavyweight champ, Jon Jones, is also sure that Ngannou is very scared. Now, however, Francis Ngannou himself categorically disagrees with that statement.
You know that's not true, right? No, I'm not scared.
You got a big Tory?
Huh? The former UFC heavyweight champ gave a sensational version of why he actually decided to leave the UFC. And in this video, Dana White also suggested that Jon Jones would end his career after the fight with Stipe Miocic. So at the end of this video, UFC welterweight champ Leon Edwards admits that people still doubt him. But at UFC 286, he is going to shock the world. But can he cause the upset again?
Leon Edwards has done it! Pound, headshot, done it! That's it!
Oh my goodness.
The video, I just want to ask you guys, please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate it, so thank you in advance. Now, UFC President Dana White recently told reporters that he was no longer interested in a fight between Francis Ngannou and Jon Jones. According to Dana, he persuaded Ngannou to sign a contract for 2 years. However, he was adamant that Ngannou didn't want to fight. He didn't want this fight. He left without even renewing his contract. And I know the boxing business. Crazy, but Francis did it. Also, Dana White admitted that Jon Jones will end his career after the fight with Stipe Miocic. I wouldn't be shocked if he fights Stipe and then retires and doesn't fight again. How would the Jones-Ngannou fight go? I think, and many other people also think, that this fight would have gone the same way as the fight between Jones and Cyril Gane. Now, the new UFC heavyweight champ Jon Jones does not believe that his fight with Ngannou will also ever take place. I strongly doubt that he will return, especially when I gave out such a first performance, he wrote on social media, answering some questions from fans. Like I said, the dude left for a reason. He put forward all the possible demands in the world, knowing in advance that the UFC would definitely not go for it. He found his way to jump out. Now, while the Ngannou-Jones fight may not be happening anytime soon, UFC fans are still hopeful that the fight might happen in the future somehow, some way. But former UFC heavyweight champ Ngannou strongly disagrees with Dana White and Jon Jones. He has provided his own version of why he actually left the UFC, saying, "I've been trying to fight Jon Jones for almost 3 years. Conversation started after my fight with Rosenstrike. Then they promised that the winner of our fight with Stipe Miocic would fight Jones, but this did not happen. So I did my best to make this fight happen," he told ESPN. Now, according to Ngannou, he decided to leave after he realized that the fight with Jones plays the role of bait in negotiations and is a tool from the UFC that they use to pressure fighters. In the end, I realized that the UFC was using it as bait to keep me, to force me to do something that I didn't want to do, just because I wanted this fight. Yes, I really wanted this fight, but not at any cost. At the same time, he also avoided a direct answer to the question of how his fight with Jones would have ended, saying anything can happen in a fight, so I won't say that I would definitely knock out Jon Jones, although that is exactly what I intended to do. But since this fight never took place, we will never know. Now everyone can come up with an ideal ending for themselves and say how it would have ended. I will tell you that I would knock him out, he would tell you otherwise, and if the fight took place, everything would turn out not all the way that we both think. If it didn't happen, you never know for sure how it would have turned out. So, what do you guys think about this? Was Ngannou afraid of Jon Jones and therefore he left? Go ahead and leave your thoughts down in the comments. And moving on. As you already know, on March 18th in London, the main event of UFC 286, welterweight champ Leon Edwards will be making his first defense of his title against the former holder Kamaru Usman. A rematch between Usman and Edwards is eagerly awaited by millions of fans. And this fight is not just between two very experienced fighters, there is also a lot at stake. If Leon Edwards is able to repeat an upset victory over Usman, it could deal a devastating blow to the reputation of one of the best welterweight fighters in UFC history. Many experts are arguing that the outcome of this fight will have some significant implications for Usman's legacy and the future of the division. Now, the fact that the native of Nigeria is the favorite on the eve of the third fight, well, it's not surprising, because he is simply above the rest of the class. In the second fight, Usman expectedly had a tangible advantage. But during the course of the fight, he made a number of mistakes. In the opening round, he almost got choked out, and then in the last 5 minutes, he suffered that fatal high kick. But fans of Kamaru Usman are hoping that the vet doesn't make the same mistake twice in a row. And on the contrary, they actually expect Usman to add more pressure, get him against the cage, take him down. Now keep in mind that Edwards' takedown defense is not at the highest level. Usman should not stagnate at a long distance. It is actually advisable not to repeat this, including even defensive ones, and instead he needs to contain his composure. This fight is going to be a very crazy fight, as Leon Edwards is not going to give up his belt without a war. He is determined to win in front of his hometown crowd, and refuses to even consider the possibility of losing. I just can't imagine how he will win. People still doubt me, and I still feel like I have something to prove. I perform at my best when I have something to prove, Edwards told BT Sport.
He's one of the most smooth guys that's ever fought in the UFC in terms of combinations and striking, and just everything he does is perfect. His technique in his stand-up is just perfect. And then the fact that he took Kamaru down, took him down the first round, got full mount.
Took his back. He was on his back.
Kamaru Usman just happened to make that one mistake of separation of the hands. Your hands should always be up. Respect everything, obviously, but this is the key. You see, so I think for this fight, I'm sure Kamaru was just gonna stay here the whole damn time.
Now on that same night at UFC 286, Justin Gaethje and Rafael Fiziev will be the co-main event fight of the evening. Both are expecting a future fight for the belt, which currently belongs to Islam Makhachev. Now, Rafael Fiziev is very determined to win the title, saying, "Honestly, I don't care if I get a fight with Makhachev. If I win against Gaethje, I will be in a good position. If Beneil Dariush beats Oliveira, then he is 150% deserving of a fight for the title. So if he wins against Charles, I will not stand in his way, but I will wait. If I get a title fight after Gaethje, I will be happy. If they give it to someone else, I will also be happy because I remain in a good position." That is all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And remember, this is very important, so thank you in advance.